What's up, guys? Like the Bossk 627 here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 10th episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars, The Phantom Apprentice. And if you guys haven't seen the episode yet, I'd recommend you go ahead and watch it because this video will include lots of spoilers. But now, let's get into the video.
What do you want with Anakin Skywalker?
He is the key to everything.
So the episode picks up right where we left off on the 9th episode last week, and they didn't even have like the Republic announcer do like the intro, which I thought was really interesting, and it really makes me think that at some point they'll edit this into a movie or something like that. And so right away we saw Ahsoka and Maul talking, and right away you can tell Maul is he's very scared, I guess, and he knows that something is about to happen. And I feel bad for Maul because, I mean, this was supposed to be like him. Like, he was supposed to be, like, he always thought this was going to be like his job to do these things, but now he's been replaced. And so I think Maul's desperately trying to kind of save himself and his little shadow collective now because he knows everything is about to end soon. And I love that I felt like they tied in almost every Star Wars movie really well in a way. Like, I feel like they're doing a good job with including the sequels, but not making it really obvious. Like, the way they would talk about Palpatine and how they would kind of play his theme in the background. It just really reminded me of The Rise of Skywalker. And next time I watch The Rise of Skywalker, I'll now see it as more of something connected to the Clone Wars, which it will make the movie a lot more enjoyable because I won't feel like it's disconnected. I'll feel like it's connected to the rest of the Skywalker saga. And I love how Anakin was talked about. Even though he wasn't there, you could still, like, they talked about him like he was the most important person ever, which I loved because, I mean, Star Wars is about Anakin and the Skywalkers, and I'm glad that they are doing Anakin right. And we also saw Jesse get captured. Then we saw Obi-Wan, which I believe he was on Utapau, and he was talking about Darth Sidious, and it really interests me and makes me kind of mad that the Jedi knew all of this stuff about how the Clone Wars was being controlled and how the clone army was purchased by, like, Dooku and Sidious, but yet they just are oblivious and they still just do whatever they want. Like, there's gonna be no consequences. I mean, like, all the signs are there, but they just don't pick up on it, and it's really frustrating. But I did love that they had this scene with Obi-Wan and Ahsoka because they didn't really last episode that we saw them, the last time they were together, they were kind of arguing, but now they worked together a little more, and it felt really good. And it was really sad when Obi-Wan was talking about Anakin, and he asked Ahsoka to talk to him, and Ahsoka said she would, but then they had to go to the battle. And that really makes me sad because I bet if Ahsoka had talked to Anakin, it could have prevented him from turning to the dark side right then. I mean, maybe not, but I feel like it would have helped a lot. But yeah, that's really sad. And then we saw Almec die, which I feel like that scene was mainly just to get rid of him so they wouldn't have to explain what happened to him in like a future book or comic or something like that. But it was definitely a cool scene, and I love that scene where Bo-Katan was about to be like crushed by the elevator and she was like holding it up with the jetpack. That looked amazing. And then we saw Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, and Rex all like walk into the palace, and then Maul was just chilling in the throne room. I thought that scene was really awesome, and I was really nervous with Jesse beside him because that was like the exact setup when Maul had killed Satine, and I was like, oh no, he's gonna kill Jesse, but luckily he let him go, which I'm not entirely sure why. I think the reason he let him go was because he wanted to turn Ahsoka. He wanted Ahsoka to work with him. And I kind of wanted Ahsoka to work with him just because I feel like they'd be a cool team. I never really realized how similar they were in some ways. Like, they were both kind of rejects of their, like, the Sith and the Jedi. And they both felt betrayed, and they just felt like they had lost their place in the galaxy. And so I never realized how similar they were until this. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I have a feeling that we will see Ahsoka and Maul team up maybe when Order 66 happens. Now that Maul is captured, I think they'll probably have to team up to fight the clones or something like that. I am very interested to see what's going to happen in the next few episodes. Very excited. And I loved that duel. So we had the, for those of you who don't know, the duel, Maul was actually done, Ray Park, who did he was the actor for Maul and the Phantom Menace, he did motion capture. And so then they animated that. And so that's why it looked a lot different. So it was a little odd that it was so different from other Clone Wars duels, but it was really fluid and it looked really great. And the lightsabers were great. But the duel at times felt almost a little slow. I really liked it, but it just felt a little weird sometimes. But I think that was just because I wasn't used to it. But it was so amazing. And I loved it. And I love that scene where like the glass broke and all the smoke came in. I was hoping the Siege of Mandalore itself would be longer. I just felt like the battle between the clones and the Mandalorians would have been longer, I guess. And it seems odd that Maul just kind of abandoned the Mandalorians. Like, I thought he would try to evacuate them to have... Because now he just has these crime syndicates, but he doesn't really have a fighting force anymore. It was a very cool battle between the clones and the Mandalorian, but I wanted it to be longer, and I wanted them to, like, go out on the plains of Mandalore and, like, fight it out there. But I'm fine that they didn't, because I know that the episodes, what's going to happen in the next few episodes is going to be amazing with Order 66. And so I'm very excited. I loved when Maul and Ahsoka were up in those like rafters or whatever. And then I really loved how throughout the episode you could see how desperate Maul was. It was just so good to see Maul back, and everything he said felt so like heavy and like it felt like everything was coming together. Like it was really cool. And so I'm excited to see what's going to happen next now that Maul's captured. And now I think Maul's very terrified to go back to Sidious because, I mean, right now he's on a ship with a bunch of clones who I'm not sure if Maul directly knows if the clones are going to turn, but he does know that he's going to be back on his way back to Sidious. So I have a feeling next episode we'll see something where, like, Ahsoka tries to contact Anakin to talk to him, but then she can't, and then Order 66 will happen or something like that. But either way, I'm very excited, and I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. And if there's any, like, cool things I missed, then please let me know. Oh, I forgot to say, for those of you who didn't know, the young Dryden Voss was actually from Solo. He was in one of the scenes as a hologram when Maul was talking to his Shadow Collective. And so, yeah, that's a very cool Easter egg. But if there's anything you guys felt like I missed or stuff that you wanted to say, things you didn't like about this episode, things you did, please let me know. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. And thank you all for watching. Like a Bossk out.